Hey, welcome to the patio. It's T, and I'm here with almost everybody. We got one missing, but we got a good show for y'all tonight. A lot going on in the news. I don't know if there's anything earth shattering, but we're going to talk about Michael Oher. He says he was not adopted, which there's probably some monetary things going on there. We're going to talk about Oliver Anthony, the viral sensation that is what they're saying is the conservatives' anthem that he's come out with. But I got one of the most important questions right now. Fortenberry, have you ever slipped on a piece of ham? I know that caught you off guard.
Did catch me off guard. Oh, what's her name? Mama from the Mamas and Papas choked on the ham, didn't she?
Mama. Is that a sexual innuendo?
No.
It sounds like it.
It sounds like it.
What was her name? Mama.
Mama. It was Mama, I guess. Mama and the Papas. The Mamas.
The Mamas?
Choked on ham?
Yeah, they said she died on ham.
So how are you tonight, Father Fortenberry?
I'm doing good. It's Monday. Oh, I guess Tuesday for y'all or for everybody, I guess. But
Elisa's back. Choked on ham. She's already laughing. There you go.
Choked on
Hey, welcome
ham.
back, Elisa.
What's up, Elisa?
And I know these buttons are out of order, but there's DW. Man, I'm good tonight. I found you guys.
We don't
Hey,
know. We don't know.
DW.
We still ain't got to scream.
Hey, DW. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm glad that that Monday, Jamie's Tuesday, whatever's almost over.
Now, let's see if I can find Marty. There's Marty. Hey, Marty, how are you this fine Monday evening live from the patio?
I'm doing good. Welcome, everybody. Been one of them days.
Mama Cass was her name. Mama Cass.
Like I said, it's Mama.
I thought you were talking about Mama June.
Mama June. Mama June choked all right on like a crack pipe or something, I think.
We know Mama June.
You know, that's the best weight loss program there ever was crack pipe.
Mama June ain't choking on no ham.
Hey, crack pipe was the what when Wegovy before there was Wegovy.
Yeah.
Justin Gibbs. Hey, Justin. He said Marty looking like Easy. Yep, you right. He got that easy.
Oh, sleazy.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
So let's talk about the news that came out today. This is big news for especially for those of us back around Memphis. Michael Oher, he rose to fame by the movie The Blind Side, where it portrayed him as this young, poor African-American kid in the inner cities of Memphis that was adopted by this wealthy family. They go on to make a movie about it. I think I was going to say Julia Childs, but I forgot her name. It's not Julia Childs. No, it wasn't even Julia Roberts either.
Damn.
It was
Demi Moore.
It's Julia Roberts.
No, Sandra Bullock.
Oh, it's
Sandra Bullock.
I had it right. I'm like,
Gosh, we're terrible.
We're terrible. But yeah, she said it. There you go. Sandra Bullock played the Tui lady.
White people all look the same to me.
Yeah, they got him into private school, got him to Ole Miss. He went on to professional football fame, played most of his career with the Baltimore Ravens. But he comes out today and says that he never got a penny from this. They made a lot of money from it. They were never really adopted him. He was tricked into signing conservatorship and made nothing from the 2009 hit film The Blind Side.
So I don't know if that's true, but I heard that he made nothing and they made around $9 million off that movie. And if that's the case,
I would have thought they made more than that, but maybe they didn't.
If that's the case,
that's a lick, dude. Yeah, if that's the case, I get his point. They also portrayed him in the movie like there's a scene where he points to the bed and says, "What's that?" Like he didn't know what the damn bed was.
Yeah, but no, that was just poor writing. Come on now.
I don't care how poor you are. You know what a bed
that's
is.
Just terrible writing. They really.
I don't remember him saying,
that.
"What's that?" She said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "I've never had a bed before."
I've never seen one of those. What is it?
That's actually possible.
Yeah.
When I was a cop, I saw kids all the time that didn't have beds.
Look, you can have a bed wherever you lay down. Technically, that's a bed.
Technically.
I slept in Gary's dog bed forever.
Dadgummit, you and your trickery, you got me.
Did he wait till he run out of money before he said anything? Or I mean, the movie's been out for years.
Is he out of money?
I don't know.
So
didn't he play a long time?
He
did like 9 years in the league.
Yeah, I mean, he was good.
I know, but I'm just wondering why.
I doubt he's broke, baby.
Nah.
So here's a story. ESPN first report that Oher filed a 14-page petition in Shelby County, that's Memphis, Tennessee, Monday, alleging the centrality of the movie was a lie, and that the Tui family used him as means of acquiring further wealth. Now, how many broke relatives you think is in his ear having him do this?
I just think the whole situation's odd.
I can see this. If he received zero money from that movie, I fully agree with what he's doing.
Now, Sean Tui, he is the husband, played by Tim McGraw, I think.
Yeah, I was like Mel Gibson.
Yeah, we're telling. But he came out today and said, look, doesn't matter what happens here. We're going to continue to love Michael, keep loving Michael like he's our son.
They were.
That sounds like
wealthy.
something Joe Biden
Just
did.
say like he's our son, but you didn't adopt
He
him.
didn't
so
say
clearly-
like, but I added that part. But it's kind of like Hunter Biden, right?
I don't know if he didn't make money off the movie. That's kind of messed up. I mean, it's about him. Now it doesn't sound like they're upset with him.
Cabo
Well, now that
was
they got
watching.
$9 million off of it, I'd be thrilled
But I
with
mean,
it.
what would have happened if they never would have taken him in? Did they take him in because he was a great athlete? Not according to the movie.
I doubt it.
He was big, but
I doubt
But
it.
like the movie also depicts him as never playing football.
he
Either.
sucked at football initially.
No, no. But apparently, according to him in real life, he played ball his entire life.
So he said in a 2011 best-selling book, I Beat the Odds, Orr described his version of how the conservatorship came to be. They explained to me that it means pretty much the exact same thing as adoptive parents, but that the laws were just written in a way that took my age into account because he was 18 when he signed that away. Because, you know, he probably needed them to help him through college a little bit. Why did it take him so long to say anything?
Well,
That's
I
what I was.
I imagine he got a good support system regardless.
And look, those folks were traveling to watch him play in the NFL. They were not just like, oh,
No,
this is
I don't
out
think
there.
they weren't riding his coattails by no means.
I
but-
don't think they definitely didn't need the money.
I think they were wealthy.
There's some of the. I think there's.
Well,
some
they're going
of
to
the-
Briarcrest or whatever it was before they met him. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
is it Briarcrest?
You know, I think he may just be. He said during the 9-season league, Orr had a total earnings of $34 million back in 2015. He blamed the movie for his less than stellar career. People look at me and they take things away from me because of a movie. They don't really see the skills and the kind of player I am. That's why I get downgraded so much because of something off field. So look,
The movie depicted him as freaking awesome.
Awesome.
It
the
was
movie
amazing.
did not have anything to do with whether
No,
he
it
was
shows-
still playing 5 years ago. He's 37. 30 years. The average life expectancy in the NFL is on like 3 or 4 seasons.
In that movie, it shows literally every college coach at every major school in America calling this guy to try to get him to
But
play football.
I looked him up. I mean, he had multiple awards in college, multiple awards in the NFL. He had a 9-year career. That's not bad. I think he was a all rookie
pretty good.
team. I think he might have made a Pro Bowl or two.
Cabo Inc. had a good point here. Said, no way did that family anticipate all the success the story would become. They did it out of love. Look, it's obvious.
That's
they
a
didn't
good
need
point.
that.
I agree with that.
They
Yeah.
didn't need that. They had all the success. They were wealthy beyond any means. And you know what? If he needs money, they should have helped him out if he's truly his son. I mean, I don't know.
That's true too. I mean, it seems like it was a rift that could have been done in private.
I would really like to know more.
I'd like to know
Like,
his well.
probably
I'd
that
like to know
will-
how much money he has right now.
Well, I would just like to know more about the whole situation. Something we'll never be able to really know, but I'd like to know.
Now, I saw an interview with the son of the Tuohys,
Yep.
and he said he read the book. He said I would advise everybody to go get it. It was a good book. I supported him. So I'm curious, is there animosity? It doesn't sound like it. If it does, it sounds like it's one direction.
He can block
No,
an
that's not
airbag
awesome.
though.
Yeah, because that happened too. I'm
He
sure.
block that air. Boom.
Look, there's going to be a lot more information about this. I'm sure it's going to be in the headlines, especially around here in our neck of the woods for a long time to come. But we'll see how this plays out. Something tells me it's going to settle out of court. But let's talk about another feel-good story.
That'll feel good.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
I love this song. dude.
Oliver
Love it.
Anthony, like I told you earlier, it's just okay to me as a song, but I like what it's got to say. But it shot to the top of the U.S. Apple Music and iTunes country charts and racked up more than 9 million views in 5 days. He actually had, who was the guy that came and played with him?
Oh, Jamie Johnson.
Jamie Johnson showed
Yep.
up out of the blue to play with him.
Which is ironic because Jamie Johnson is a hardcore Democrat. So it's weird that, that right there kind of shoots the whole.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's
Yeah, a
just,
lot of them are. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the country music are Democrats.
That's just like accidental.
And I
fame.
wouldn't say hardcore. He's a Democrat.
Yeah.
But it kind of shoots the whole narrative about this is the staunch Republicans theme song. I like the music, though, because I'm a fan of bluegrass. You ever heard Old Crow Medicine Show?
Yes, I love Old Crow Medicine.
Dude,
Show.
he's a little more twanging than they are, but they like him on meth.
I
So-
like their song "Cocaine."
I do too. A lot of the songs about meth and cocaine.
That's because meth and cocaine love the world or they leave the world. Oh, we got Brad Needham watching. Hey, Brad.
What's up, Brad?
What's up,
Thanks for the
Brad?
compliment on
What's
the hat.
up,
Loves the hat.
Brad?
So, in the original YouTube video, Anthony Singh giving a passionate acoustic performance of the song, his first professionally recorded track while standing outdoors. He said, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay so I can sit out here and waste my life away. Look,
how's that not a middle class anthem?
That sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it?
well, then he even goes further, and I'm not going to sing all of it because I wouldn't do it justice, but he talks about how the
I
working
think
class
you can
man
pull it off.
are it's paying away to all these other places.
Well, one of the comments that people
See you,
are
Cabo.
really hitting on is he makes a comment about being 5'3" and 300 pounds and taking tax money paying for your fudge rounds.
Yeah.
But his point being,
I like fudge rounds.
I love fudge rounds. Look at me. And when they came out with the double fudge rounds, it was on like neck bones, man.
Good thing I ain't 5'3".
Yeah, that's a good
Ain't
thing.
lying. I'm
300 pounds, 5 foot.
I'm
3.
halfway to that comment.
Fudge rounds and cosmic brownies are fire. And zebra cakes.
Now, I think cosmic brownies have a different meaning these days.
I only have one meaning for
That's what I had in New Orleans, wasn't it?
I still love it.
Yeah. You may have had the double cosmic Milky Way brownie in New Orleans.
You had the Bill Cosby brownie.
Chronic.
Took you out.
All right. So, but why do you think this song hit a nerve? I mean, I think we kind of touched on it. But
Because it speaks to. It's not conservative.
the
It
average
speaks
person.
to middle class America. We are all fully aware that the people in Washington D.C. do not care about us.
I mean, you got middle class liberals work just as hard as middle class conservative people.
Yes.
And a lot of times they do the same job.
I'm gonna
job.
repeat what me and Donnie was talking about today. Like,
Oh, dang, don't repeat
yeah,
that.
my wife used to say, "You used to think I was anti-government," and she's finally starting to see my way. But I don't think the government actually actively works against us. They just don't work for us, and there's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
Yep. I mean, they're not trying to hurt us, but they sure ain't trying to help us.
Don't make
They
that
show
money, man.
So there's a fellow on Twitter here on X, 15 years of song a day. He made a response to Oliver Anthony's Rich Men North of Richmond. It's called Fat People on Welfare Are Not Your Enemy. I've got some technical difficulties. I'd play it for you guys just so we could have.
Well, I get it. I get his point, but if you're using our tax money, you kind of are. I mean, I don't make enemies out. I mean, of an entire group of people, but I mean, the point being, don't waste our tax monies. Our
Nowadays,
monies.
this is from
Our
Quinn, one of
monies.
our fans said,
What's up, Quinn?
nowadays middle class is the real poor class. You know, I got a story about that.
Quinn, I don't disagree with that.
That's
Let me see if
definitely the shat on.
We're shrinking. The middle class is shrinking.
Here
Shadow?
is
Yes.
another story, and I've got it open. I just got to find it. Oh, what does it take to feel rich in America today? Check this out. A quarter of workers earning over $175,000 a year consider themselves very poor or poor.
Boy, I like to introduce into my finances.
Well, look, but if you live in New York City or San Francisco,
New York City.
I mean, really.
Jamie said he wants to be poor.
Come see us.
So that salary would be enough to put workers in the top 10% of U.S. tax filers. Yet 25% said they felt they were getting by, but just getting by.
They must own a bunch of boats.
No,
like-
they got $1 million house,
But like, so I'll look.
They've
$200,000 car.
overspent.
100. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
extended themselves.
But like, I'll look at what the median income is in America, and I look at what I make, and I'm like, boy, these two ain't adding up.
The median income in our state is about 75. That's for a family. Per person, it's about $45,000
Yeah.
per year.
Yeah, that's just wild.
State of
to me.
Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we ain't rich, but that's wild.
Nope.
45,000 or 75,000 family. That's
Yeah,
wild.
for a family. Yeah, I know that's.
That's actually okay. I found it. The average annual earnings in the U.S. is $75,000, and you got these people living in these high cost of living areas that make almost at least twice that, a little over twice that, and they can barely get by.
That's gonna be marrying soon. They killing us with these taxes. That gummit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But the middle class is shrinking, and it's probably something that needs to be addressed sooner rather than later.
Salaries stay constant, prices, everything going up. 'Cause
Well,
nobody's salaries are going up.
Well, one thing too is people shit on the boomers because they bought a house in 1980 and what they could buy then, but it's not their fault. The economy's changed. The money hasn't grown. The salary has not grown with the inflation.
Not at all.
Period.
So I led with this a little bit into you, Father Fortenberry, and asked you ever slipped on some ham, but apparently you choked on some ham.
No, Mama Cass
Mama
choked
Cass
on
did.
him.
So a woman says she fractured her
Disrespect
ankle.
Jamie like that.
A woman says she fractured her ankle when she slipped on a piece of prosciutto. Did I say that right?
Prosciutto, that's not really ham, though.
Now she's
Prosciutto.
suing. Now we're going to have to look that
How
up.
you
Is
s-
it prosciutto ham?
That's
Yeah,
fancy.
no,
that's
it's good
fancy
stuff.
ham.
No,
I thought
yeah.
it was more like salami or something.
That's
It
bacon.
is. It's kind of like salami.
That's bacon ham.
But it looks like, yeah.
It's thin
I love
bacon
prosciutto,
ham.
man.
Prosciutto's
Look,
good.
when you know they do the bacon wrapped
Actually, it
jalapenos,
translates
wrap them prosciutto.
in Italian. It translates directly to ham.
Does it? Okay.
Ham.
But a woman slips on a ham, and then she's suing the restaurant.
But prosciutto's not greasy.
But man, it's slick.
I say it sounds like though. So the woman,
She may have been in that bourbon.
hey, she was heading to an area where food.
tripped on it.
her shoe.
She tripped on ham.
Alice Cohen was heading to an area where food samples are distributed to customers. So that's kind of like being in Costco. You know, they
she
got the
hit
good
Sam's,
samples.
yeah.
Or Sam.
man.
Oh, she was
Sam's
getting
Club.
it.
Wait till I get
You
to
know,
Sam's.
sometimes you got to fight over them.
There
good
may have been a
samples, too.
line, and she was trying to hurry and get in the damn line. And
I bet she cut in front of somebody and they threw a piece of ham down.
Y'all think she might be
Spun her
5'3",
out.
300 pounds?
I'm just trying to figure out if we can sue Bourbon for falling down. That's
spun her
happening.
out, man. I'm telling you right now. Like NASCAR.
Spun her out. Like a banana peel in Mario Kart.
She hit second gear and just,
Look, I love prosciutto. You know, that's.
oh, it's good.
But it's better than bacon for cooking to me, right? Like shrink wraps.
Oh, it's
Do we want to talk about the Georgia baby incident, or is that a little too morbid?
I don't really want. I mean,
Let's talk about the Kansas law enforcement newspaper raid.
yeah, because
The little local
that'll cheer
newspaper.
everybody up.
Yeah. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation is standing by a raid on a local newspaper after local law enforcement was accused of violating First Amendment rights. Fortenberry, you knew a little bit more about that. I'm going to let you tell this story a little bit.
No, and if I get some of the facts wrong, I apologize. So apparently, there was a restaurant owner trying to get a liquor license, and they applied. There was some back and forth. Well, somebody in town did not want her to get the license, so they mailed to the local newspaper an article or a arrest report for a DUI for the person trying to get the license. Well, the newspaper said, we're not going to run the story. It's really a non-story. It's a DUI from like 15 years ago. And they didn't run it. So, long story short, the police raided the newspaper over where they received the information from, even though it's public record.
And in the end, this 98-year-old woman who runs the paper.
They also raided this 98-year-old woman's home.
Then tell them what happened.
So the next day, so when they raided her home, they took all the electronics and everything, computers, Alexa, phones, everything. She has a heart attack and dies. And they're saying she couldn't use Alexa to call for 911 because they didn't have her.
I didn't hear that part.
Mhm.
Yeah, she
Oh,
died.
man.
All the stress, she couldn't say, Alexa, call me an ambulance.
Yep. So whether
Wow.
that's what contributed to it, that's kind of hard to say. But that's what they're hanging on.
They took her lifeline.
But is this not a First Amendment issue?
Well, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
First, a small town that's overreacting.
There's more stuff to it too. So there's also a rumor that the police chief in Marion, Kansas, was the former police chief or police captain or something up in Kansas City, Missouri, and he was removed from the police department over suspicious activities.
So you couldn't tell him nothing.
No, so apparently not.
He
And
moved to
the
hometown?
rumor is though that they were going to do a report about him.
I just want to know what judge signed off on this search warrant.
Yeah,
That's what I
that's
wanna
really a
know.
good
That's
question.
a local judge.
So what the police department is saying is that they received the information, not illegally is not the word they used, but that's what they're implying.
It definitely sounds like a illegal search and seizure. I would like to see their justification for the
They
search.
probably called him. He said, "Yeah, just sign my name." And
You know what? You might not be far off.
You
You know,
probably
when
not.
you do a search warrant, if you're looking for, like, say you're looking for guns, you also include ammunition in there. You know why? Because a gun maybe could only hide in a box like this, but ammunition could hide in a box like this, right? So if I find something else while I'm looking in a small place, then I can say, well, I was looking for ammunition, and that's scope of the warrant.
And I have an issue with that. It seems like to me, being the person that's against the government, that you should only be able to use what you're looking for as a crime. Like if you come to my house looking for firearms and you find a pound of meth, you know what? The pound of meth wasn't what you was there for.
Usually it's written in too. But
A pound of meth.
at that
If
point,
you see a
it's
pound
still
of meth,
illegal.
it's still there.
It's still illegal.
It's got to be exactly a pound.
So you guys,
Their weight is like pound of the core, like, you slick
No,
dog.
that ain't what we was looking for.
so you guys haven't. Well, if you watch the news, you know about the wildfires that took place in Hawaii over the last several days.
Terrible.
If you see pictures of it, it's devastating. I mean, there's like it looked like something from a movie. There's vehicles that have just been burnt in their spot. People were jumping in the ocean. Hawaii senator says the Maui fire is a byproduct of climate change.
How do fires happen so fast that it burns people up?
They said there was a storm
High
out
winds.
off the island, and they caused high winds.
Y'all see the conspiracy theory?
About the lasers?
Energy beam? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So there's a hot topic on TikTok that, of course, I had to dive into. And I'm torn on this. So apparently, part of the same island, they're still receiving tourists.
Oh yeah, I saw that because Paris Hilton was out on the beach just a few miles away from where that town burnt down.
So at what point are you not supposed to go?
Well,
I'll
that's what I was
cancel my
wondering.
trip right then.
But
Yeah, but
they're only going to give you a portion of your money back.
And that part of the island's not destroyed.
yeah. I mean,
All of that's
Man,
still
I
intact.
don't know, dude.
That's still intact.
yeah. But if you got $20,000 tied up in the trip, and they said we'll give you half of it, you're going to be like,
I mean,
But there's
I
almost
know.
100 people.
I agree.
Is it a moral incident, like a moral dilemma? It wouldn't be for me if I was going to a different island and where I was going wasn't directly affected.
Elisa said about
And I paid
40
for the
miles.
It's the
were
same
bought.
Trip and
island.
the plane tickets.
I'm torn on that, but there's a lot of the native islanders have been saying too for years that they don't want us to come to their island. But my take on that is go to hell. It's part of the United States. That'd be like some crackhead from Tennessee saying, "I don't want you in Tennessee."
It wasn't in this article here, but I heard them talking yesterday, and that so Oprah got like 900 acres on this.
yeah,
All these rich people on this island brought in non-native vegetation that ended up contributing to the fire burn.
How did they do that? Because that should be,
Should be illegal.
yeah,
But it's mostly like grass and those type of things.
It's still in the United States, though.
yeah. But you
They should still have some type
Oh,
of
Elisa had a good
agriculture
point. Don't they
laws.
need the influx of tourists to rebuild anyway?
I agree.
Yeah, that's what
I
we're
agree.
talking
You gotta
about
have
today.
that.
I mean, it is a moral dilemma. And I saw somebody
I understand both sides.
somebody on TikTok said, "Well, I could cancel my vacation, but I'm gonna go down there and volunteer." No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Shut up.
Hey, can we
Go
get a
sip
free
on my
ride to
time.
Hawaii if we volunteer?
You know what? I'll go down there and volunteer right now. Out down there, over there, up there.
Cross there. Hey, if we can get a ride out there, we'll volunteer. We'll volunteer.
Let's just drive, make a road trip out of it.
Road trip. We're road trip to Hawaii.
So what if north, like,
Take a boat.
let's say West Memphis caught on fire? Can Hawaiian people come and visit like Fayetteville?
Nope.
Or what if a hurricane hits like the
point.
upper peninsula of the Gulf Coast? Marty's not going to go to Panama City.
So a hurricane hits Miami, you can't.
Like a week before, yep, you can't go to Panama City based on
yeah,
what
you
you
can't
just
go to
said.
Panama.
I'll do
City
you
if
one
it
better.
hits
I'll
Miami.
sit down there while hurricanes are hitting, drink, and watch it come in.
How big is? I don't know how big the island is.
It's small.
Oh, now he's
It's small.
backtracking.
It's very
Well,
small.
Alyssa says it's like
It's
40
really
miles.
small.
40
very,
miles.
very small. Yeah.
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 going
Jamie,
to
you'll
Panama
love
City.
this story. Former U.S. Senator claims he threatened to kick the shit out of Joe Biden for being handsy toward his wife.
My dad did too, and he didn't even touch his wife.
Former U.S. Senator Scott Brown says he threatened to kick the crap out of Joe Biden during his swearing-in ceremony for being handsy with his wife.
That's a man thing.
You know what?
Don't be handsy.
Hey.
with his
He was
wife.
probably falling.
He probably thought it was his daughter and just.
But I bet he
Hey,
smelled
come on,
something.
man.
Hey, even if he was following, he probably sniffed it on the way down.
Listen, I'd be so glad it wasn't my kid. I'd be, look, I appreciate not smelling like my son. Okay.
He does sniff folks, which is really odd.
Yeah, he sniffs people all the time.
No, but what did you just say?
Oh, I would tell him I appreciate you being hands with my wife, not sniffing my son.
Oh,
Boy,
Maybe I said that way wrong.
I looked at Marty. I was like, "What in the heck?"
I'm pretty sure that your wife would say something.
Oh yeah,
Either that or she would leave with Joe.
She'd probably sniff him back.
I can tell you if my wife left with Joe, it'd be to smother him or something. It wouldn't be.
Maybe
We're probably
not.
look. We're gonna be banned.
We're gonna be
banned.
like that 75-year-old got shot in New Mexico.
A 5-year-old got shot in a Mexico.
75-year-old.
75.
You didn't see that?
Oh yeah, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
That was last week.
Did you see what you remember the 5-year-old kid that shot the teacher?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you hear what he said after it came out last week?
A 5-year-old?
Yeah, this has been months ago. We talked about it on the air.
Yeah.
Dang.
5-year-old, he said something to the extent, I killed that bee or whatever.
Yeah, it was like the scene from A Time to Kill. Was it? Yeah, I killed her, and I hope she burns in hell. Maybe not. I might stress that part.
Yeah.
He was taught that
That's crazy.
or something.
Uh,
I don't know.
Talking about being shadow banned, what's crazy is we go live with the podcast. It'll be 3 people. We go out there and drink on a patio chair, and then
well, it's totally different. I think the algorithm's totally different. But man, his mama should have went up there, and I don't know where it's at. She should just beat the hell out of him right there. Does he go to jail?
I got a
Do you
feeling.
imprison a 5-year-old?
I can't
I
even
don't think so.
fathom that
Why?
entire situation.
Or you put him in timeout?
I don't know. He needs
I don't know
mental,
what to
mental
do.
health.
So
He
we
needs
don't
mental
kill people now. Did she die? I can't remember.
No, she didn't.
I was gonna say I didn't think she
recovered.
died.
Yeah, what do you do in a situation?
You get them mental help. They need it. Therapy. Therapy is what they need. They need therapy. Speaking of therapy,
Late term abortion, man.
I think we need some therapy for that West Coast out there.
By some rules, that'd probably be acceptable.
Los Angeles Nike store robbed as shoplifters hit Topanga Nordstrom again. Every day you see.
Topanga, that's the girl out of Boy
Topanga,
Meets
Yeah, I
World.
noticed
gonna
that. I don't
say.
know what that is, but every day if you
Everybody
just
trying to hit
flip
Topanga.
through the news
Boy, when I was a kid, I only hit Topanga too. What you talking about?
or YouTube, they're out there. Just a bunch of folks go in, they rob the place and they take off.
Listen,
They robbed Boy Meets Girl. Yep, sure did.
and
Isn't that wild?
Road
Just
trip.
take-
Look, we'll stop by California, load up on supplies,
We load up.
and then we'll head to Hawaii from here.
Think
Okay.
about the Christmas presents we get for our wives. We take all the Louis
All I
Vuitton
want's a
and stuff.
unicycle. So I just want a unicycle. It's got to be
So-
extra, extra large and have a large weight limit.
I don't want to say, that won't happen in a small town. I don't want to start getting on that, but that's a California thing. I just don't see that happening in our area.
They don't even seem to be rushed or worried anymore.
Did you see Carter's comment?
Yeah, I did.
You see the video where they at the gas station where they held the guy down the heat with a broomstick?
No, in
Oh,
California.
I did.
Might have been New York.
He screwed up and robbed like an Indian store. or
Yeah,
something. They
yeah,
beat the
you should
crap
know,
out of
yeah.
this dude,
Oh,
man.
oh, they got the robber down and beat him with a stick.
Yeah, like one of them held it down. They grabbed. Finally,
Beat him with a mop.
a guy came up and stopped him and said, "Look, you're either going to have to call the cops or let him go. You can't."
And you know, in all of these videos, you'll have just normal people shopping with their kids or whatever, and they're just like, they're not even running. They're just kinda
So
like,
here's
okay.
my thing, and this is as a former police officer, Donnie, a crowd of people come in and start robbing the store. Can I not fear for my safety?
Can you not what? What was the
Fear
word?
for my safety, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
guess.
know.
Yeah, I mean, if
You have to
they're-
prove you were threatened. There's
Yeah, they
a lot
have
of
to
videos.
pose some kind of
Hey.
actual threat to you.
Who deems what my threat is? You can't determine somebody's threat level. If my son's
I
there,
mean, if that's the case, you could just, oh my gosh, I'm scared. I'm
but
threatened.
I mean,
for
if
my
your
life.
kid's there and people are coming in and raid the store, I mean, that's pretty scary.
Scary and fear for your life are two different things.
Fear for my son's safety.
Speaking of
I'd move my
safety,
son over, find something expensive, stand him in front of it.
you know, Memphis
There's a difference
is.
in punching one of them and then going further.
So you see where they had that shooting the other
I'm
night?
about to talk about that
Okay.
right now. Yep. Talking about safety, though, here we're talking about Memphis. Memphis is always ranked in top 5 of least safe cities there is. But on Sunday morning, there's video. We watched the video last night. I apologize for not being able to play it. We got to work out those technical difficulties. But downtown Memphis, right off of Beale Street, if any of you've been there, you're familiar with it, right in front of the Hooters. Traffic was at a standstill. There was a car stopped in the middle. DW even noticed afterwards that they'd apparently been doing donuts there. And all of a sudden, pop, 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 pop. Somebody opens fire. 8 people were injured right in downtown Memphis. This is 2 blocks away from AutoZone Park, just a few blocks away from
Less than a
Rendezvous,
block
Oh, it was-
from FedEx.
Yeah,
Forum.
block.
a block from
Wow.
FedEx Forum.
Beale Street.
It was feet from Hooters.
Yes, feet from Hooters, which that Hooters kind of been going downhill anyway. But
Yeah.
and this was I don't know what
It's
time of
starting to
morning
sag.
was it? It was real early Sunday morning, so it was much later than most people would be out anyway. Although we've been down there that late before, many times. But I mean, it just changes, and the police are afraid to do anything. I mean, Memphis is not so different than these other places. Cars are being stolen like crazy right there in Memphis, and the police are afraid to do anything.
Have you driven down the interstate in Memphis lately?
There's no, you go
There's
basically as fast as humanly
zero
possible.
Police
Huh.
presence.
Nope. I got pulled over.
You got pulled over?
I got a speeding ticket in Memphis. I
You're
ain't never heard
kidding.
of
How, man? I do like 80 through town.
That's because they couldn't catch the Chargers and the Affinities and
Yeah, they caught that
what's
little
the
Honda.
other one? There, I mean, seriously, it's
You
like
got a ticket.
notorious.
I got a speeding
in
ticket.
They figured you were harmless in that little Honda.
How fast
That's
you
why
going?
they said there's no way.
Meanwhile, people do 80
The
past.
man said I was doing 75. I said I didn't know the Honda would do 75.
They thought you had bricks of cocaine in the Honda.
$37
Huh?
for
That's
the
what
speeding
the-
ticket. Yeah,
What?
Arkansas would have been 370.
Oh yeah, and it won't go on your record. Tennessee, they don't put it on your record. In
30
Memphis, anyway. In Memphis,
$37?
Plus $2.49.
processing online.
Yeah, since I did it, convenience charge.
Oh, you know what? I ain't worried about it no more. I just roll on.
Oh no, I had one in Memphis similar. I got it. Told Marty about it. He's like, "Oh, dude, just go pay it." I'm like, "Dude, it was like 75 and 55. Yeah, just pay it. It's like $25."
I do think that they've handcuffed the Memphis police to a point where they,
Haven't all liberal cities?
I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, your administration's not gonna back you if you go break it up. They're more than likely gonna fire you because you broke up 40 people
Yeah, and you're in
on
this,
a corner before a shooting started.
you're in a scenario now too where citizens that defend themselves or defend their property are more likely to be catch charges than criminals. Like look at the couple in outside St. Louis, the ones that people were ready or getting ready
Oh, yeah.
to charge their home and they pulled
Oh,
guns
yeah.
out.
Yep. I guess they eventually got out of that. Okay.
They did what it cost them.
I got a couple more stories here. An author says, look, an AI is writing unauthorized books being sold under her name on Amazon. So AI is writing books and selling books as if they were from her.
Allen Iverson.
Hit that button.
The first book's titled Practice. What's practice?
Practice. That's a good joke.
Practice.
Don't hit
We
that
talking
button. Don't
about
hit that button.
practice.
That's a good joke. I stand by it.
We've talked about that some. But what do y'all think about that? Do you really think AI is selling books? No, somebody may be selling books.
Yeah, the AI ain't selling it.
AI is not selling books.
Well, since you
Somebody
said
said.
something about AI, I heard on the new iPhones it was going to be on there. It was going to be like an app.
It's going to be built in.
Hey,
Actually, I got the app. on
Hey,
my
well, we
phone.
know who ain't writing books. Floyd Mayweather.
All right. Now, this will be my last story, and I think you guys.
You know, he
will
can't
kick
read.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, that Barney got the joke.
He just knows how to
Oh,
follow.
Mayweather
Bubba Fett.
can't
Bubba
read.
Fett just joined.
No way.
What up, Bubba? Yeah.
All right, this will probably be our last story. You guys
Who
can.
can box?
We'll be live on the
box.
patio.
Hey, when they
here in a
weighed
minute.
him in, he said, "Did I make
Oh,
weight?"
Brad Mo's here.
He can throw hands. He can't throw words.
I don't believe that.
All
I'd
right,
have
so
to see that.
now this is a complicated.
See, not
story.
read.
I didn't see that on the internet.
All right, this is a complicated story. You're going to follow. Okay, a Texas woman is attacked by a snake and a hawk at the same time while mowing her lawn. So, ladies on her lawnmower.
So
Just cruise
was it
along.
a team up or
Well, hold on. And all of a sudden, out of the sky drops a snake, and it wraps around her arm. And I guess the hawk was carrying the snake.
Yeah, that's exactly what
And
happened.
then the hawk came down to get the snake, and it's wrapped around her arm and tears her up. Just tears her up.
Well, think
Gets a
about it
hold
from
of
the
her.
hawk's
Dude.
perspective. He dropped his food. He was like, "Oh dang, this woman done stole my
Look,
food."
after that, I got tagged by dung beetles because I shit my pants.
I wouldn't be here no more.
You'd have been covered up in dung beetles.
I don't mess with snakes.
There been flies around and everything.
You
That's
set
like a
your
worst
dogs on
nightmare.
me.
You know, we talked about dreams and nightmares here a while back. That's Marty's like worst nightmare.
Marty would have jumped on the hawk and flew it away. Like, what was that movie where dude rode the dog?
Lord of the Rings?
No, he would have
No.
died. When that snake landed and
no.
wrapped around his arm, he'd have been gone.
The never-ending
Hey,
story.
Never-ending
That's
story.
what it was called. Yeah.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings, they rode hawks.
Oh,
Or eagles.
Al's watching too. Hey, Al.
What's up,
What's
Al?
up, Al?
Yeah. Guys, that's all I got tonight. Y'all got anything else?
Yeah.
Y'all joined at the end, Al.
Y'all joined at the end. Al. We'll be live on the patio here in a second.
it's
This
Bubba.
is our podcast that we recorded here. But we'll be live on the
Hey.
patio for about 10 or 15 minutes.
Well, hey, Al, while you're on the on here, when you going? When's the next episode coming out? Y'all been on a stalemate for a week or so.
Yeah, Al, when is the next all dooms? What's it
Yeah, we
called?
need to know how.
It's
to
all
survive,
doomsday.
It's
No,
all doomsday.
it's all
Yeah,
doomsday.
because I think they went to
Thanks, Elisa.
a big prepper show.
Oh,
a big
that's right. They
prepper
did go
thing.
to Pepper Show, so we're looking forward to it.
We
Yep.
need to know how to survive hawks and snakes.
You ain't lying.
That's like snakes and sparklers, but different.
All right. So, how about a little part?
Let Marty go first. Marty, go. It's your floor.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it to you, Marty.
I don't like spiders and snakes. You remember that song back in the day?
No, but I like spiders.
Father Fortenberry, part word.
Look, I agree with. I ain't scared of spiders, snakes, but I'm terrified of spiders.
DW, you got anything to say to people?
I'm not scared of spiders or snakes.
I'm scared of clowns.
Take
too.
them, leave them. Look, go hit the like button. I got to remember to tell people to hit the like button. You can check us out on TikTok. We're going to be live action just at about 7:15 here. But thanks for listening, guys. You can find us on YouTube. Everywhere you go. Like us, love
Guys,
us.
have a good night.
Somebody done saved this outlaw.